Okay, so here we go with the saxophone of the day. This is the earliest Yanagisawa I think I've ever had. I'm guessing maybe 60s, early 70s at the latest, but in pretty great shape. You know, it comes with little scuffs down here, looks like maybe a couple dents, but the bell's real clean. Somebody went to the whole thing and repadded the whole thing. Unfortunately, they didn't do the great job of setting pads, so I had to go and reset all the pads and get them all seating and everything. And so they're in great shape, but they just weren't doing their job. So anyhow, there it is. This one, so Yanagisawa started making saxophones in the 1950s, which is really early for a Japanese company. I think maybe even that's way before Yamaha started. And rarely put a saxophone out with their name on it. It wasn't until around the late 70s they came out with the 800 series with their name on it. And there's a lot of Vitos out there made by Yamaha. A lot of the Yamahas, Yamaha altos were made by, you know, for Vito and all those things. So everybody was using names for everybody else's horns. So again, Yanagisawa started putting their name on them mainly probably in the 1980s. But mostly they were making them for other people. So this one says Continental on it. So, but the first thing I saw was the Yanagisawa insignia on the neck, and I don't know if you can see it on by the serial number. There's a Yanagisawa insignia. So I immediately knew it was a Yanagisawa. So one of the things I just crazy thing people to do that they don't do anymore. This one has the bell keys mounted on the bell. So on the newer horns, they all come off the body. So if that bell gets a little ding this way or this way or this way, all the bell keys aren't going to seat. This could be off 10 degrees any direction, and as long as the arms on the back are hitting the linkage on the bell, it's going to play just fine, because the bell keys are actually anchored on the bell itself, which is just a wonderful idea. Busher did this in a couple of other companies. And it's just, and also I've had a couple of buffets with the same situation. It's just a wonderful idea. So, but again, they stopped doing it for some reason. But, you know, in a pretty much amazing shape for the age. Real pearls on it, you know, instead of everything is plastic now, which is kind of cool. Just a straight metal thumb rest. I've converted a lot of these to adjustable if people want them. And at the very least, I put a nice little foam cushion on there, make it a little easier on it. But again, pads are in nice shape, plays great, mechanism is great, just a beautiful neck fit. I mean, without even the screw loose, it just is fairly tight, so you know it's not leaking up there. So anyhow, the good news, again, right firm, right down to that low B flat. So no high F sharp. Almost everything now has got a high F sharp in, and a lot of people just don't want it. Selmer and the Yamaha are both making one model without the high F sharp for the guys that just don't want it. In the Mark VI era, it was an option, and most people opt not to get it. I mean, it's cool to have the key there, but it just adds another hole, another mechanism. And again, it's fairly light. Some of the new horns are just crazy, crazy heavy. I mean, the altos are as heavy as an older tenor. But it's got a really nice spring action to it, and it just plays like a dream. So I'm going to do a little ditty here, and so I checked the serial number. It's a 368 serial number, which has nothing to do with the Yanagisawa series. So it seems like with the stencils, they put their own serial numbers for whoever they made them for to keep track. So anyhow, just going to do a little thing here, and we'll get on with it. You can see the pads are really nice. So a great chance to get a great, Japanese, not Indonesia or China or someplace like that, saxophone for under $1,000, which is pretty crazy. I mean, most of the Japanese horns have gone up in price. Even a student model is like $2,000, which is pretty crazy. So again, really nice Yanagisawa, under $1,000, quite a bit actually under $1,000, and it'll go on the old internet web. Probably won't put it on my web page. It's basically, I consider it probably like an intermediate model, and maybe I will. But it'll go on the old Craigslist, San Francisco version, Santa Cruz after that, and if you want to see a million pictures of it. So there it is. Again, really fresh pads on it. You can see they're a nice, pretty color all the way down to the bottom. Of course, the low E flat was just toasted. Now, I just went through a bag of 100 low E flat pads. It takes a 40 millimeter, and I just go through them, by the gross amounts. So again, the next, a couple little dings in it, but it's really straight, not pulled down. And again, the neck fit is just absolutely perfect, which is pretty rare. Usually they just fall in, or they're too tight, or they're too loose. And again, the screw, you don't even have to tighten up the screw on it. So there it is. Yanagisawa, I have no idea. I think this was before they even had model numbers. And their first model number is like an A5, so it might be something like that. But I think it's actually before that. Who needs a half sharp key? All right, so the black coffee is nice, strong for an early morning. I try to do these when I'm nice and fresh in the morning before I'm all blown out from playing horns all day. An interesting table key. I've never seen this exact style. It's before they went to the little rocker over here in where they copied the Selmer style. But it flows. You got rollers going everywhere, and actually very nice, easy to play. So there it is, Yanagisawa. It's a 368,000 series, which again is probably useless as far as the numbers, but again, definitely a Yanagisawa, as you can see with all the logos and everything. I didn't recognize it by the keywork at first, because again, this is about the earliest one I've ever seen. Nice and solid all the way down to the bottom. Okay, that's it from the West Coast. Adios. Oh, webpage, www.stevegraysaxes.com. That's www.stevegray, saxes plural.com. And yeah, I'll put it down there. I actually have 3 Yanagisawas that don't say Yanagisawa on them. I have one that says Dorado on it. That's from probably the 70s, and it looks like absolutely brand new. It just looks like it's never been played. And then I have one that says, I think it says Martin on it, but it's actually Yanagisawa. And then I have all the Yanagisawa series. I've got the 900, the 902. Currently playing the 902 bronze, alto, tenor, and I have the Berry version, and I have a brand new W02, whatever they call it now, bronze Berry. So they're just wonderful. The whole line is, they make some of the finest saxophones in the world. So, and then I have, of course, all the Yamahas too, and the Selmers, and the Kylovers. So there it is, www.stevegraysaxes.com.